I met a gypsy.
Something about what's happening now with me personally, and I think in the industry in general, is it's like I feel like the cool guy thing's going out the window a little bit more these days. The secular sort of nature of the racing's kind of going out the window. And
it's not kind of. It's completely, utterly destroyed compared to what it used to be.
So it's amazing. And then I think you add in that like nowadays, like Josh Hill just went up to Wagga Wagga like 3 hours away to ride with Harry Bink and Jackson Stroll. Like it's like the times are changing now, and it's like that whole everything being fun and like let's be friends with everybody and let's like have these like really cool positive conversations. It seems like shit's changing now for the better, like on that front. I don't know why it is, but I'm really enjoying it.
Well, there's a couple reasons, I think, because I've discussed this a lot. It's really easy when you're on the TV crew, as I am for a lot of the year. And by the way, the majority of the TV crew for outdoors, what I do, is the same crew that does Supercross. So you get the same. I didn't know that. Yeah, they change.
Oh, it's NBC.
Well,
NBC?
Even when it wasn't. Even when one was on Fox and one was on NBC in the US. Our producer and director, Chris Bondo, Jeff Manhart, they're the same two guys. Almost, I'd say 90% of the crew is the same.
Yeah.
So it's very easy when you're on that same train every weekend to start, and I talked about this a lot today, it's very easy to start becoming jaded, to forget, like, we're very lucky. We all have the dream job. So a couple years ago, somebody's making fun of some rider for not doing an interview or doing a crappy interview, not coming through for TV or something. Everyone's like, hey, man, you've been around a while. Like, do you think the riders are getting better or worse? Now, this is truly a bitch session. So, for sure, the expectation is for me to say it's getting worse, and then we continue to bitch.
Jump in and
yeah. And I stopped right there, and I said, you know what? No. It's getting better. It's getting better. I know we each have our story from probably just last week, one rider that boned us on an interview. But it is getting way better. And no offense, but like Chad Reed, Ricky Carmichael, who are two of the best people to interview now, dude, they were terrible
back in
their day.
Dunge was that for me, with what I had to do. It was like pulling teeth.
You get Dunge on your pod now.
Oh, I've had him on. It was fucking incredible. Yeah, it was incredible.
Ryan Villapoto is everybody's favorite person now.
Yep.
Was not good 8 years ago. Okay, I think we officially know it's changed. Why has it gotten better? I honestly think one of the reasons it was getting so bad for a while was there was too much money at one point. The entourages, because when you're making like $10 million a year, you can get a much larger entourage. And we got to the point where those dudes were flying private planes. Yeah. They were only surrounded by their people. They didn't have to interact. They had their own orbit, their own island of people around them, blowing smoke up their ass the whole time.
Yeah.
And everyone else on that island was against us.
Yeah.
Those aren't our people, we're our
like
people.
Full tribe mentality,
It 100% was. And you could see it, like there was Chad's people, there were James's people, there was Ricky's people. And the three riders themselves were probably the most reasonable.
Well, that's what they said today. Like they were literally saying that. They're like, man, like I never really had a problem. It was more like our people had a problem with each other.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that you see that like, I see that in business even, like when I'll do film projects for a big company and it's like then you get like 25 people on the fucking email. And I'm like, I've literally never spoken to any of these people. I've had nothing to do with them. And they're telling me what I should change in my video. And it's like, they don't know what I should change in my video because they hired me because I know what I should put in my video. But there's this thing that happens because essentially that's like, that email is an entourage of like that business. And then it's like, that person is like, I kind of like my $120,000 paycheck. I kind of like working here. And it's like, I need to do something because if I don't say something on this email right now, then I'm going to be deemed as not really doing anything. Yeah. And I think that that's what happened a lot in like the man friend era, like the heavy entourage era.
Yes.
And they would be like, oh, no, but he said this, man. Like, I really, like, I had to like fully diffuse a situation before. And then it's like, fuck, there was a situation. And it's like, you could see that stuff like getting, and I mean, I've even been in that shit. And I'm like, this is where you're all getting played because these people are just, they're trying to justify this paycheck.
100%. And I saw that where like, if you're trying to justify the guy paying you to be in the entourage, first thing you do is you kiss his ass. So you tell him how he's better than everybody else, A. And then B, if you could maybe be a spy and give him some dirt on the guy you're supposed to hate, oh man, you're so valuable now.
Superstar.
Yes. So in late 2000s when the economy tanked and the industry has come back, it's better, but it's still not where it was. And when 2005, there was so much money in comparison. We don't have the entourages that we used to have.
Yeah.
And I think that has made a huge difference. And then maybe advent of social media and YouTube, people have realized they can make money by showing their personality and being cool.
Which that's super new though. Like that's really, really new.
Yeah,
like
we've
that's a
only
2019 deal.
Yes.
Which like we had Ando and Tom on here before, and it's like I think that they are changing the sport in such a positive way. Like, I think that looking back, like Jason Anderson's a Supercross champion and he won a championship. I think he's going to be remembered as like a generational dude. Like he changed the sport in the same way that like people sort of want to say Dungey did, and that like they'll sort of say like the way that Ricky did. Like Ricky come along and he did this, and then because I thought it was interesting what
wow.
It's going to be right in shot. Wes is going to hate that.
You don't care. Stop. You're good.
And Josh Hill was saying that like, so it was him and Lawrence.
Yeah.
And they were like doing really good, but then Dunge beat him in the championship. Can you imagine the different fork in the road that the sport would have taken if like Josh Hill was winning the 450 championship and J-Law kept winning 250 championships?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
if they shut Dungey down.
And then it's like the whole Dungey era, like that doesn't even happen. And then Lawrence is in here saying like, I just kind of got so sick of like everyone doing the same boring thing on the podium. And it's like, so now he's like already never even done a pro race and he's already got a tagline of like the whole donut thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's Jason Anderson and Dean Wilson.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I know what you're saying. When Anderson's done racing,
he's probably going to be more remembered for...
Yes. Okay, so right. Anytime you hear somebody trains hard, they get referenced back to Carmichael.
Yep.
If you hear anyone super consistent, they get referenced back to Dungey.
Yeah.
And yes, 10 years from now, someone will be really cool in some way with fans. And they'll be like, oh, it's Jason Anderson style.
Yeah, it's like full Dino and Ando style all over again.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's like you need those, like, but one is a byproduct of the other, if that makes sense. Like you needed Ricky to do his thing first.
Oh, right.
And then Dunge come along and like took the influence from Ricky.
Yeah.
And then took it to that level.
Yeah.
And then because of Dunge, it's just constant cause and effect of like this kind of...
It is a real easy narrative for people like us to say that. Like, oh, it went too far one way, it's got to flip the other. But I think the real brilliance of what Anderson is doing, all he's doing is just showing it.
Yeah.
He's having more fun than guys at his level. But dude, you've hung out with these guys during the week.
Yeah.
It's not as gnarly as people think.
No.
They're pretty chill. Yeah. He's just the first one smart enough to actually show us it.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, GYPSYTales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.